Good afternoon, and welcome to Noonday Meditation and Contemplative Prayer Power Hour. We're just everyday mystics like you and me come together to love and support each other through this pandemic. So thank you for joining me today. And my ask is, if you would, please just say hello in the comment section so that I know who's here. I can't tell other than just seeing a number up on the board. But if you say hello, which I love, then I'll know you're here and we can chat. And also pipe in. I love dialogue. And so if you ask questions or make comments, it creates, I think, a more interactive time together, because we're here to love and support each other, not necessarily hear everything I have to say. But I do think I have something exciting to say today, and that is, what are you learning about yourself that's of real value during this pandemic? And I've got to say that during this pandemic, I've learned something that's been tremendous, and that is I'm learning to trust myself. And prior to the pandemic, I was building a fairly successful, I would say it wasn't fairly, I was building a successful coaching practice using very similar selling and marketing techniques that I used before, which is a lot of referrals and networking and meeting people face to face to see and have conversations, to hear their story and hear what their challenges are, to see if a business relationship would be the right fit for them to become a client. However, with the pandemic and the qualifications to not meet people face to face, hey, Mindy, how are you doing today? Nice to see you. Happy Thursday. It is Thursday, and we are all here on Thursday. And we're talking about lessons learned during the pandemic. I'm curious, is there anything that you're learning about yourself that's really revealing and it's creating you're being able to create a better life for yourself, and you're learning about yourself during this pandemic? Because I think that's one of the things that we've all been doing, is we've had to, in this pandemic, is to get quiet and get to know ourselves, particularly those of us that are on this contemplative path and understand that. And with the support of this contemplative path, I've really gotten to the place where what I've learned is I'm rebuilding my business from I don't know. And that I don't know is requiring me to trust myself more deeply and get to know the part of me that I call the wise woman. Because the old way of doing things wasn't working. And I needed to reconfigure my business model to make money and to grow wealth and to add value in a virtual environment. Because I can't meet with people, or I shouldn't meet people for protective reasons, in person. And doing everything by Zoom just wasn't that effective or efficient. So I began to create an online business, and I've had to learn a lot. I've had to learn how to make videos. I've had to learn how to speak better on a Zoom call. I've had how to present, how to create webinars. But you know what? I'm finding that when I let go of the urgency to make money, a couple things happen. One, when I let go of the urgency and just kind of trusted the universe, trusted myself. I don't mean trusted Martin. I mean trusted all of me, and trusted that there's a divine presence that I call the wise woman within me who's been guiding me. But I began to trust her more and more. But what I'm going to say is that when I let go of the urgency in my head, when my focus got out of making money, and instead it was focused on how can I better create a service product that's going to add more value and be more effective in the world than what I was doing, and focus on the doing of that, it's just become a lot more fun. I'm just enthusiastic. I'm joyful about it. And I'm learning to trust myself. I'm learning there's an intuition within me who's going to guide me through this process. And oddly enough, the money to support me and support this business just seems to show up. I mean, there are things that I do, but it's not that I don't care. I'm just not focused on it. I'm focused on the moment. I'm focused on what I'm doing at the moment. I've spoken about this before, whether I'm making a salad or building a business or learning how to make a webinar. Whatever it is I'm doing, I'm able to focus on that from a place of enjoyment and enthusiasm and excitement. And I know that whatever I put out at the end will be better because it was made from love. So I trust in me and I trust in what we're doing. And I have faith that by the time I create this and redesign this business as a virtual business versus a in-person business, that the product, this will be something of value. And we all know that we can't create value by consumption. We create value by contribution. So if I want to contribute something, then I need to trust that I can create something that's going to be of value. And shifting my mindset to just trusting that I've got everything in me. And that's what I teach my clients. I can't teach what I don't do myself. And it works. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of contemplative prayer. As a prosperity coach who teaches people spiritual principles, how to use spiritual principles to resolve financial problems and create wealth, I have to do it myself. And it works. That's what's so crazy about it. It works for me. It's working for my clients. And now I just try to figure out how to create it in a way that I can be more efficient, and more effective with a larger audience in the internet. And that's exciting. So I think the big thing I've learned is how to trust myself. And what's Mindy learn? Learning more about loving, powerful, curious. Yes. Isn't that fun? Like you mentioned, who loves the most wins. Yes. Yes, we're learning that it's what's inside us that counts. We have everything within us to really enjoy this magnificent life and really feel the essence of the tomato and the lettuce, feel the essence of the power of learning this amazing software. Sometimes I get frustrated. I want to create these professional webinars, and I'm working on one. And I'm having to learn all of the techniques, all the gears and buttons in this software in order to do it. And I get stuck sometimes, and I'm like, I don't know how to do this. And then all of a sudden I'll pop up a video or a tutorial or something to teach me how to do it. And it's not designed to, my mind kind of goes into the whole thinking, this was designed for everybody but me. And then I trust myself. I got everything anybody else has to learn this. And it's a shift in internal dialogue and internal thinking. And it certainly is a lot more fun and exciting place to be than to be focused on trying to make a lot of money. That's all I got to say. So if you want to, and I have faith that it will one day make money, but it'll make money because of the contribution I'm making to add value and create wealth is going to create it for me and for you. Because if it's a win for everybody, that's the whole idea. Is that it's a win. It's not for me to try to create something to try to, I don't know, whatever reason, but it's not for me to make wealth. It's for me to add value. It's not for me to consume. It's for me to contribute. And I would suggest the same thing for you. If you're having to redesign your life in a lot of different ways, I would suggest that do what we're doing. Join us for contemplative prayer at noon every day to just stop the noise and all the ideas and all the thoughts and really go inside yourself to find out. And sometimes I just turn over the problem to the wise woman. I'll go into a meditation and say, I did this morning in my meditation. I was so stuck on something that I was doing I was almost done with this webinar. And then I couldn't get two pieces to fit. It's like they should fit, but they don't fit. And I worried about that. And I thought, it's like, finally this morning, I thought, I'm just going to turn it over to, into my meditation. I'm going to let go of it. And I want to look for something. And what happened, and I came out of that meditation and I had an idea to go online and Google Camtasia coaching. And I found a whole bunch of stuff that can help me do this. I just had to let go of whatever I was holding on to and just trust myself and the universe to support me. There's a wonderful book called The Universe Has Got Your Back. And it's a great bestseller on this subject. And it's true. And that's learning to trust yourself. Because it's not just, I'm not so much trusting the individual human as I am the whole human being. And that includes the wise woman. Because without the wise woman, the joy, the divine, I'm not so sure I could do this. And that's what trusting yourself means, is to love that divine part of yourself, that the essence of who we are. And when we discover we are that, that's what we are. We are prosperity. We are abundance. We are love. Then we can do what prosperity, abundance, and love does, and we can create more of it. Doesn't that make sense? Even to our ego thinking mind, it begins to make sense, right? So that's what I got for you today, is to you cannot create value through consumption. We create value through contribution. That's exactly right. That's thank you for saying that, because that's exactly the type of spiritual principle or the spiritual truths that I teach my clients, my coaching clients, about in that relationship. Is how because it's true. But we growing up in this consumer producer environment that's so toxic, we believe that the more we produce and the more we consume, the more successful we are. And that is a ridiculous way of thinking, because it's just not true. But we think it's true, and it's painful until we let it go. It's hard because this is what we were taught. I want to read a little bit from a book I got. It's called Everything Belongs by Richard Rohr. I love Richard Rohr, and his teaching this morning was not so, I didn't think it was all that particularly helpful for our noonday chat. So I went and found a book of his, and I want to read what he had to say about this here. It comes out of a chapter called Don't Push the River. Flow with the river is what he's saying. I believe contemplation shows us that nothing inside us is as bad as our hatred and denial of the bad. Hating and denying it only complicates our problem. I would say it adds fuel to the drama. All of life is grist for the mill. Paula Darcy puts it, God comes to us disguised as our life. Everything belongs. God uses everything. There are no dead ends. There is no wasted energy. Everything is recycled. Sin history and salvation history are two sides of one coin. I believe with all my heart that the gospel is all about the mystery of forgiveness. When you get forgiveness, you get it. We use the phrase falling in love. I think forgiveness is almost the same thing. It's a mystery we fall into, and the mystery is God. And I'm going to go even further and say the mystery is the divine within us. We fall into the wise woman because we are the wise woman. God forgives all things for being imperfect, broken, and poor. Not only Jesus, but all the great people who pray that I have met in my life say the same thing. That's the conclusion they come to. The people who knew God well, the mystics, the hermits, those who risk everything to find God, always meet a lover and not a dictator. God is never found to be an abusive father or a tyrannical mother, but always a lover who is more than we dared hope for. How different than the account manager that most people seem to worship. God is a lover who receives and forgives everything. The gospel says you will know the mystery of salvation through the forgiveness of sins. Forgiven means given to beforehand, before you earned it and before you were worthy of it, or maybe even asked for it. So forgiveness breaks down the entire world of mediocrity and the notion of deservedness. Our logic of quid pro quo is useless in the realm of spirit. Instead, we are open to it. We will be led into the realm of mercy and grace, the unique world of God. I think that's pretty cool. What do you think? What do you think, Mindy? I think we should do a little contemplative prayer. What do you think about that? Let me turn off my cell phone so I don't make any noise, and we'll get started today. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. Lack of oxygen, maybe? Maybe it's so humid, I'm just lack of oxygen. I don't know. Let's raise your arms in the air. We raise our arms in the air to feel that life force within us. It is so close. The wise woman is us. We are so close to it. It's what makes us work. It's the spark of life within us. It's not that far away. We just want to bring it more closer into our consciousness through prayer and meditation. So let's just get still. Let's begin to quiet the mind and maybe do a little mindful breathing. And just do a little bit of mindful breathing. And let go of all beliefs, opinions, and judgments you have about this world, you have about me, you have about yourself. And come to this moment with a wholly empty heart and mind and body to receive love. Let go of any ideas or conceptions you may even have of love, of God, and just be present to the moment. And begin to observe and welcome the thoughts that come across your mind. And they will. Accept them. Love them. Just let them go. Just let them go. And if you notice an emotional feeling, allow it to be present. Feel it. Flow with it. Be with it. Accept it. And bring it into this moment. And watch what happens. As we begin to sit, get still, and accept all our thoughts, all our feelings, and accept the world and ourselves exactly as it is for the next 20 minutes. We're just going to sit in acceptance and trust. Welcome back. Resonates with me. When you get forgiveness, you get it. When you get forgiveness, yeah, you get it. You get it. You get free. Forgiveness is never about the other person or the other thing or the thing that you're forgiving. It's always about us. It's always about freeing us from that resentment or from that place. So absolutely. And there's my friend Darceau. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you were there for us when we meditated. Nice to have you with us today. Great. How was your meditation? How was the 20 minutes? Did you meet the wise woman? Mindy, what do you call that? What do you call the divine? Do you have a name for yours? Darceau, do you have a name for yours? Mine is named Joy. I named her Joy years ago when she came into the dark. Her voice came into the darkness and gave me some very, very, very loving and supporting wisdom, and it changed my life. And when I listened and accepted it, I just felt this. It was like grace just fell over me, and I began to experience the world from a place of just profound joy and excitement. So I named her Joy, and that's what I call her. I call her Joy. And Joy's here today. She wants to tell you, hey. My most me, yeah, that's a good name. My most me. M cubed. My most me. I love that. Yeah. And do you find contemplative prayer? Let me ask you this question. After this contemplative prayer, after this time when you do prayer, when you do meditation, how long do you keep that state throughout the rest of your day? Do you stay connected to that most me? Just curious. I do. I have done this for so long that joy is present most of the time, and oh, there you are. And I just kind of experience her. I might be out doing something like the other day. I was out there planting some plants, and another difference because the plant just looks like the plant, and then all of a sudden the plant looks vibrant, and it's because the wise woman Joy has shown up, presence has shown up, and the life is a connection between me and those things. Good. A lot of the time, yeah, me too. Not all the time. I don't know. I don't think any of us. It takes practice to get to that state, to stay in that place all the time. I mean, joy is always there. It's just whether as how long we can keep it in our consciousness, in our consciousness, because things happen out there and they distract us and pull us out of ourselves, and then that's why I think this is so important at noon, because it gives us a chance to reset for the rest of the day. I have a practice in the morning, and then I do this practice at noon, and then little mini practices throughout the day when I feel disconnected from her. And sometimes that disconnection is to go out like I did yesterday. I was frustrated with that software, that webinar making software, and I couldn't figure something out. So I just said, okay, time for a break. And I went outside and I had some chrysanthemums to put into a garden, and I just started planting those chrysanthemums and got reconnected to that place in me, and let it go. So, and today I have a different perspective on my project, and I'm excited about it. So if you would, maybe you want to take a few minutes. You got 20 minutes left here on the hour to do a little journaling and reflecting on yourself, and getting to know yourself, and learning to trust ourselves. I think that is such a gift, isn't it? When we really learn to trust ourselves, when we really know that part of us that is always for us, always there, always supporting, always helping us learn, always showing us the way, always guiding us through the challenges of life, building resilience. Yeah, it's exciting. So if no one has anything else they want to say today, I'm going to say, may love and prosperity prevail, and I will see you tomorrow at noon. And I look forward to that. Okay, bye-bye.